What's up, guys? Kevin Allen here, aka the Geek from DFS Army, and we are talking PrizePicks NFL Week 6 top plays. I've got a lock button for you coming up in a minute. All right, what's up, everyone? Kevin Allen here, aka the Geek from DFS Army, and I'm back with another PrizePicks video breakdown. We're looking at props for NFL Week 6, and we're coming off. We had a couple of incredible weeks, 6-2, 6-2, and last week we came down to earth a little bit. Some unlucky breaks. Tom Brady, we needed over 20. He scores like 19.7. Zach Wilson, I needed over 215 yards. He got 211. A lot of really, really close calls last week. The Brady one was a real heartbreaker because, man, he scored more than 20 on DraftKings, but that was because of the 3-point bonus. And, you know, I've adjusted my projections because I was just using our DraftKings projections for that. So I made a little bit of an adjustment here this week so that we don't kind of run into similar situations. And I love Week 6 for PrizePicks because we've got a lock button, a couple of lock button plays here. And I'm really liking the fantasy points total. So Kyler Murray is my first one, over 20 fantasy score. And I'm going to show you, again, I always use tools from DFS Army to help drive these decisions. And if we take a look at the DFS Army research station, you'll see here we've got Murray projected, and we've got to look at the FanDuel scoring, but we've got Murray projected for 22 fantasy points this week. So over 20, very comfortable. We got a 10% margin in this one. There are some other statistics that are working in our favor. Kyler Murray in games with over a 50-point projected total has averaged 28 plus fantasy points per game over the course of his career. So this is a screaming buy on Kyler Murray, and he is the guy that I want you to build your props around this week. Now, I've got a couple more really, really strong ones like this. And next up, let's go to the same game, the same position. Geno Smith, a.k.a. G. Smitties, over 16 fantasy score. And let's just take a look at what Geno Smith has done. Number one, that game has a massive total. He has beaten 16 in 4 out of 5 games on the season. And the only miss was against one of the toughest defenses in the league, San Francisco. When we check the research station and take a look at Geno Smith, we've got him projected for 18.3. So he should, based on the projection, he should absolutely destroy this over 16. And there's a little bit of correlation here between these two. So I really like this one. And I think you could build around both of these guys this week. All right, getting back into it. There's some more really, really strong plays here. I'm really liking this over under fantasy points category. It falls in my wheelhouse a little bit, right? Because we've been breaking down fantasy football, daily fantasy and projections and whatnot for years. So this really feels familiar and comfortable. So best I would put it. So the next up is a guy I love for DFS. I love him for everything this week, and it's Ramondre Stevenson, running back, New England Patriots. Now, this one is a little bit contingent on Damian Snacks Harris being out this week, but I'm still under the impression that he will be out. So, I like all of the overs for Ramondre. I really don't mind going for fantasy score 16. I don't mind the 76 yards rushing. But I think I'm going to go with over 0.5 rush pass receiving touchdowns. And why am I going with this one? I think he can catch a touchdown via the pass. I think he can run one in. Again, as long as Damian Harris is out, I am all about it. I think this gives us a few different avenues to make value. I don't mind if you go with fantasy score here either, but I'm going to go with pass rush receiving touchdown scored for Ramondre. And not too much else to see there. Not too much else to see there. I just think that's a really strong play. All right, next up, sticking with the fantasy points, I'm going with Chase Claypool. Under 9.5 fantasy score. And my reasoning is simple. I mean, he's only hit it once on the season, and the emergence of George Pickens last week and with the new quarterback in play, but generally just the George Pickens emergence last week. I think George Pickens is absolutely taking over as a prime target. You still have Deontay Johnson as a prime target. So Claypool falls a little bit down for me on the scale of people they're going to throw to on the Steelers. Now, I wish, it's a negative for Chase that Patty Freiermuth is going to be out. That's not a good thing because Chase Claypool's kind of like a tight end, but they've got a different guy whose name escapes me playing tight end, and he got a bunch of targets last week. So I'm going with a gut here. This one doesn't really stand out in our metrics, so proceed with caution. But I'm going Chase under 9.5 just because he's only hit it 1 out of 5 games on the season so far. So I'm going to continue to believe that he is not going to be a prime part of that offense. I've got a few more for you, though. That's not it. Here's one of my favorites of the day. And again, this comes from a little bit of the DFS research. And what are we really researching? But we're researching player outcomes. And Zach Ertz over 5 receptions. Now, I want to show you something. This guy has had 6, 7, 8. And only week 1, when he was hurt, did he ever go below 5. As a bonus, when you take on Seattle allows 7.67, not sure if you can see this, additional fantasy points on average to the tight end position compared to the mean. Meaning, in a neutral game environment, tight ends would be expected to put up 7.5, almost 7.75 less fantasy points than in a game against Seattle. All that tells me is that Ertz is going to smash this week. He should easily pass 5 receptions. And if you don't want to do the 5 receptions, 11 fantasy score is also just fine. I would go either here or here with this one. So let's put that in. Let's do a flex play here. How does this work? Let's do a flex play on this one. And I'm just going to put this one right in. The main reason I'm doing the flex play is because I'm less confident in the Chase Claypool, but I have extreme confidence in the Zach Ertz over 5 prop. I've got some more. I've got a couple other plays that I'm going to call consensus plays, right? And I really like these type of plays. So one of the tools we have over in DFS Army, and remember, if you're not signed up at DFS Army and you want to check it out, or if you're not signed up at PrizePicks and you want to check that out, I can double it down because when you sign up for PrizePicks using promo code DFS Army, not only will they match your deposit up to $200, but if you let us know, if you just hit us up at support at DFS Army, let us know, hey, I signed up, use code DFS Army. We'll give you a month of DFS Army VIP absolutely free. We're going to comp you so you can use these PrizePick tools and all of our other tools, Domination Station, all the cool stuff that we do at DFS Army. You'll get a free month. That's a $70 value. All right, so one of the things I really like to use on PrizePicks is this consensus tool. So what we do is we compare the PrizePicks props to the props on the sportsbook, right? And I look at what the bettors are saying. So in this Miles Sanders under, what are the bettors saying here? And I really like this one. The bettors are betting 2-to-1 odds that under 2.5 receptions for Miles Sanders. Now, for good reason, Miles Sanders tends to get 2 receptions per game. Like, he hasn't really done more than that in a game. But we've got odds skewing in our favor. Our projection here is for 1.97, so just under 2. So the most likely result of adding this to our PrizePicks props is going to be probably a push, probably gets 2 receptions in the game. Okay, that's a push, no big deal. But if it goes below, we can, we'll get a win. And bettors are betting 2-to-1 that he doesn't get 3 receptions. So I like to be on the side, on the 2-to-1 side, on any kind of a bet. So for me, this is an easy one. We go to Sanders, we smash the under, and we assume that we're going to push. So I think this is a push or a possible win. Makes sense? I hope so. All right, I've got a couple other ones that I really like here that are also based on consensus. So let me grab Tyler Lockett. grab our PrizePicks tool first, and I will show me Tyler Lockett. I believe it was receptions. Here we go. So Tyler Lockett, check this out. The PrizePicks line is 5 receptions. On the sportsbook consensus, it's minus 140 for over 5.5 receptions. What does that mean? It means that bettors are paying $140 to get back 100 if Lockett gets at least 6 receptions, for an implied probability of about 60% going to the over. That's skewing the odds enough in our favor that, again, hey, if it only hits 5, not the end of the world, we get a push. But when the consensus is pointing to the over and the projection is pointing to 6, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot on PrizePicks to take a shot like that. The best thing we can do on the prop sites like PrizePicks, and this works for any site that does over-unders and props, but the best thing we can do is skew the odds in our favor, because the odds, the prop site doesn't always have projections or a handicap that agrees with the sports book. On the sports book, if they set the number too low, what happens is they set it at minus 150, minus 160. They raise the juice, right? They're raising up the juice because the projection was too low. So they're setting it as an implied probability. The prop sites are always 50-50 props, so there's no juice that they can add. So we're going to add Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett over 5.0 receptions. And again, a lot of these, these round numbers, a lot of times it's going to end with a push, but all right, we don't lose when we push. It just eliminates the leg of the, of the contest. So it just, if you had a 4-leg parlay, it's just going to reduce it to 3. Oh, one last one, guys. Last bonus one for you here. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't forgetting anything, and I am not. So I've got one last prop for you guys here. Mike Gesicki, under 2 receptions. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things that agree with this anyway, or speak to this. Number one, Gesicki's, on the season, he's not getting a lot of targets. He had a 4-target game week 2. And then 1, 1, and 2. So this guy has just not been a part of the offense this year for whatever reason. And if you've been betting the under, you either pushed or won it 4 out of the 5 weeks of the season. And again, in order to sort of back that up, I'm going to look at reception totals. I don't think I have him here on this tool, but if we take a look at the DFS Army research station for the tight end position, that is the wrong one. Yeah, here we go. For the tight end position, and we look up, and he's not even here. He's just not a big part of this offense at all. So if we take a look at our projections for Mike Gesicki, there it is. Yeah, he's being projected right at 2.0 or 2.07 receptions. So it's really, really neutral. He hasn't been hitting the number. And I think we got a chance at either a push here or a win. So I'm taking a shot on the under on Gesicki. Under 2 receptions. I wish it was 2.5. That would feel much, much better. Targets, yeah, receiving yards, no. So, yeah, we're going to stick with this one. And this is sort of the, I'm going to call this one the sketchiest play of them all. I'm going to lower that. We'll track it. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. So to recap, the most confident plays for PrizePicks NFL Week 6, most confident. Geno over 16 fantasy score. Kyler Murray over 20. You could build all your parlays around Kyler Murray, especially, right? So the way I approach this when I'm actually going to put the real lineups in, I did this for tracking. when I put my real sort of parlays in is I'm going to build around Kyler. So I'll go and I'll grab Kyler and Ertz, maybe Kyler Geno and Ertz, Kyler Geno and Ramondre, maybe Kyler Geno, Ertz, Ramondre. You know, you want to kind of mix it up. Don't do 5 and 6 and 5-leg parlays all the time. You're always going to find a disaster in a 5-leg parlay. You want to kind of do these 2 and 3-leg parlays, the flex plays, whatever you like to play on PrizePicks. If you're more risk averse, you probably play the flex. I don't like to play the flex that much. I like to just go for it. So I'll generally play the straight parlays. Usually 3-person parlays is the way I like to do them. You get a three-person, you get them right. And I think you could start a lot of these with Murray and Smith and then build out like Murray, Smith, Ertz, Murray, Smith, Ramondre, Murray, Smith, Ertz, Ramondre, that kind of thing. With every parlay that you add another leg to, you want to lower the amount of money that you are risking. Okay, once again, if you haven't signed up for PrizePicks and you want to check it out, great. I've got a link in the description. And of course, you could just use promo code DFS Army. They'll give you a free deposit match, and we'll give you a free month of DFS Army VIP. Now, of course, you like what we're doing here, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out the channel. We are doing these PrizePick videos every week, DFS videos, everything you like, everything you need from DFS, from props, and across the board right here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Good luck this week, everybody. I'll see you next time.